right, Your Majesties. Today I would want us to talk about, I think I've been saying I'm going to do a video about the rise and fall of the Knights Templars, alright, the Crusaders, because they play a very crucial part in the life of humanity, and there is something that is a bit rampant today when you're talking about cultism. You see that picture there, especially when you're talking about the supremacists and those in charge of world power. You see that particular image there, and that image is none other than the Baphomet. The Baphomet is a combination of, I think, a human animal, like goat head, and some other symbols, and the rest of them like that, in one body. Okay, we're gonna do a history about that because it's a bit connected to the history of the knighthood, the rise and fall of the Knight Templars. You know, you're talking about the knighthood of the Catholic Church or the Christian knighthood. You talk about we have the Templars, we have the Hospitaliers, we have the Papal Knight, we have okay, the present day ones we have the Knight of St. John, Knight of St. Mulumba, and the rest of them like that. But there was something that prompted the rise of the knighthood, the Crusaders, because when we're talking about the knights, we talk about the Crusaders, right? Now, who are knights? Knights are Crusaders. And who are Crusaders? Crusaders are persons who participate in crusades. And what are crusades? Crusades are military expeditions or series of religious wars undertaken by Christian powers in the 11th, 12th, and 13th century to win the Holy Land back from the Muslims. The first time the name Baphomet was heard was in Jerusalem when the Knight Templars were accused of blasphemy. That was the first time the name Baphomet was heard. I'm going to leave some pictures and some other evidences here so that you can be looking at them, right? Now, after Jerusalem was recaptured from the hands of the Muslims around 1096 to 1099, the Muslims who were chased out of Jerusalem didn't just leave the environment. Some of them hang out around your way to Jerusalem, and this is why the Knight Templars was risen. All right, before the Knight Templars, we had what we call, generally they call them Crusaders, those who just go for crusades. And as you've heard the meaning of crusades and why it was created, right? Now, why this Knight Templars was created was because of what started happening after Jerusalem was recaptured from the Muslims. Of course, they wouldn't want to give out the city just like that. They went back to re-strategize, and then some of them were around your way to Jerusalem, and most of these Muslims around that road to Jerusalem were causing harm to those going for pilgrimages, right? The pilgrims going for pilgrimage, sometimes they steal from them, they kill them, they do all sorts of things to them. You get the point. All right, to solve this pressing issue, Hughes the Paying, around 1118, I hope I got that name right, I'm going to leave it on the screen, created the Knight Templars, and they were to be independent, not under anybody. You get the point. They were created to be independent. Like, just, you know, when you see the plight of some innocent people, you just deciding to do something to help out. This is what the intention of the creator of the Knight Templar had. Now, as the name implies, the Knight Templars, they were the knights that were located around the temple in Jerusalem. That's why they are called the Knight Templars. Now, from the Knight Templars, we got the Knight Hospitaliers. The Hospitaliers are those that practically cater for those who were injured on the road to Jerusalem. Now, these ones were always on the road to Jerusalem, protecting pilgrims directly. You get the point. Now, the Knight Templars who pitched their own abode right under the temple in Jerusalem were there to protect the temple from being, you get the point. Now, so this is how they were working hand in hand. So the Hospitaliers, those who cater for those who might be injured on the road to Jerusalem, and then the Templars, those who were living right under the temple in Jerusalem. Now, these people lived, and they were vows that they professed. They are more like They're more like the religious priests and religious of the Catholic Church we have today, but a bit different because they live in community as well. They took vows of, I think, vows of obedience, because they had to be obedient to their leader. And then I think there are other vows as well which they took, like they live a life of community. Whatever they have, they share together. And their life, you know, a lot of person got inspired by this group of men who are giving their lives to protect people. You get the point. The intention was so pure, and it was growing because it was positive, right? And a lot of persons saw this work and were so moved. And people who were wealthy, kings who were wealthy, started gifting them properties of money and landed properties and the rest of them. What am I saying? Yeah, gifting them money and the landed properties, right? And they became so rich. They became so rich. And do you know the reason why a lot of persons got to love them was because you see some group of persons just deciding to just give up their life to protect other people, give up their life to help other people. This is so touching. Like all they do was on charity. And that is why they moved the heart of people. They moved the heart of kings and queens to gift them everything. And they were so rich. And they shared all they had in community. These people, these Knight Templars, were those in those times, around this 10, 11, 13th century. They built schools for people that could not afford schooling. They built hospitals for the sick. You know, they have orphanages. They have charity homes. And they have homes for the elderly. They found this thing from what they get from the charity that people do to them. Like they get from charity and they give out to charity. And that is how the system was running until something happened. All right. Now, the church officially endorsed and recognized them in 1129. All right. Around 1139, they were given full legal rights. Like, they were given full legal right. They can do anything they want to do. They have a hierarchy. They have a system because they were so organized, right? And they were exempted from paying taxes. You can imagine that, because like I said, they got all they got from charity, and they give almost everything to charity. All right, King Philip, also one of those who collects loans from these Knight Templars. He was the one that masterminded the fall of the Knight Templars, and because he was denied access to more loans since he hadn't paid back the ones he collected right now. In his frustration and anger, he blackmailed the Knight Templars. He accused them of worshipping a deity with a head and leg of goats and a female and male body. That's the Baphomet we're talking about. He accused them of homosexuality and masturbating before the image. It is said that these were all the plans of King Philip and Pope Clement to get the knights out of their way. Like they are becoming a threat to them. Okay, to further back up his claims and accusation, on Friday, October 13, 1307, the king arrested some knights and tortured them to agree to the accusation, like the accusation that was labeled against them, like worshipping the Baphomet and masturbating. They are homosexuals and masturbating before the image, and that they step on the image of Yeshua, the image of Jesus, that picture, that they step on that picture, like, you know, outrightly saying that this is not Jesus, right? They step on that picture. They're like doing some other, abominable things according to them, to those things. So the knights that were arrested, they tortured them to agreeing to those accusations. And these have been a debate right from time up until now, because you don't know what is the truth, you don't know what is the lie. And one thing with the church as at that time is they tortured things out of you. Like, even when you don't want to agree, even if it's not true, because of the torture, you have to accept that this is it. Because of the torture. So they'll torture out things from you that they don't even care whether you say those things out of the fear of what they are doing to you. No, it's just, okay, this is how it is. So you have to agree that this is how it is. You don't have any right to say, this is a supremacist, the way the supremacists work. And it is all seen in the hierarchy of the church. And when you talk about things like this, some persons will look at you as the devil. You get the point. Okay, now what I'm saying is that we don't know if this is true. We don't know if this is false, because these people, this knight agreed to this accusation under threat. They agree. Just imagine yourself, you see what they're going to use on you, and they'll tell you, if you do not agree, this is what we're going to use on you. And you know, most of the times we're humans, and that is why there was a big question mark, even what transpired between King Philip, Pope Clement, and the Knights Templars. There's a big question mark on that today. All right. Okay. After examination, the organization was disbanded in 1312. All right, and the King Philip and Pope Clement died a year after this tragedy. It was said that the Knights Templars, it was said that the leader of the Knights cursed King Philip and Pope Clement. I think, okay. Today, deep esoteric schools and occults use the Baphomet. Some conspiracy theorists believe that the Baphomet is a corruption of Mahomet, the alternative spelling of Muhammad. They also argued, these conspiracy theorists also argued that it might also be the deity worshipped by the Mohammedans. Alright, the Mohammedans are those who were the followers of Muhammad. And that when Jerusalem was initially captured from the Muslims, that particular image was found in Jerusalem. Like, okay, that means these were the people that were using this image. So when Jerusalem was captured, they found the Baphomet in Jerusalem. So this is the origin of the Baphomet. For the accusation, I will still say, because up until now it's still out there for debate. If you want the truth from people and nothing but the truth, you do not have to threaten them. Because when you threaten something out of people, it might just be what you want to hear. Right? It might just be what you want to hear. And this is exactly like everything, the picture I want to bring out here. The reason why I brought this out here is just to let you know how the supremacist works. How they want you to believe on something. How they want to force some things into you. Like you do not have a say of your own. They're going to control you. And if you do not want to follow their ways, if you do not want to follow what they want you to do, they're going to look for something to bring you down. Like that's what they'll tell you. You cannot fight the church. You cannot do this. You cannot do that. Because they always have something to drag you down. And these are accusations that generally a lot of persons are going to believe and say, oh, these people, they did something wrong, truly. And these are the accusations that were used against them. And the question I keep asking whenever I do anything about the Knight Templars is, what if what these knights were accused of are what they themselves were doing? Pope Clement and King Pius. What if this is exactly what they do? Secretly behind those closed doors. And they know already that it's bad. But because they want to bring down these people, they decide to use this to accuse them. And after that, a lot of their wealth were taken away. A lot of their wealth, these people were like, I don't want to use the word, but they were so filthy rich. They had the money, they had the resources, they had everything. And how Pope Clement died himself also leave a lot of questions. And there's a lot of persons that say, okay, this is the punishment for the evil he had done to the Knights Templars. The way he died, his body was burnt. And the church is good. They are not going to tell you this is it. But he's a saint today. And we pray to him to pray for us. So there are a lot of things that are hidden. It's not said. It's rare for you to hear that Pope Clement died and his body caught fire from nowhere. And people believe that it was fire from heaven that destroyed him. His whole body, he was burnt to ash. And the King Pius himself, his reign was cut off. All this happened a year after the leader of the Knight Templars laid a curse on both of them. because of the level of what they did to them. What do you think about this? Leave your comment and thought there at the section. I know a lot of you know about this knighthood. You can leave a comment there at the section. I'll see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others. Stay safe, stay positive, always. Bye for now.